the day he was born. They weren't really sure if the procedures that they did were actually gonna fix it. And our cardiologist has told us from the beginning that he may get this one procedure and may need nothing else for the rest of his life, or he may need multiple procedures, and they really just don't know.
I think that the AHA funding for me was especially critical. It came at a time when I was just starting. The lab was new. And so the AHA funding freed us up to ask big questions we might not otherwise have been able to ask. Understanding which genes are involved in normal heart development will allow us to manipulate them in such a way that we can engineer cells to differentiate in the directions that we want for a therapeutic outcome.
The first AHA grant I ever got was invaluable. It was at a time I was just starting my lab. I had a project I wanted to work on, and it was really hard to get NIH funding at that time, and that AHA grant got us going.
They funded me when I was a postdoctoral fellow, and then also funded me when I first started my laboratory. I really think this was instrumental because it allowed me to get independent funding through the government, which has allowed me to continue to grow my lab.
The Western States affiliate provides a really important funding mechanism for investigators in the western half of the United States. So following peer review, funding decisions are made, and the Heart Association funds in multiple areas, but primarily in the areas of heart disease and heart failure, stroke, and birth defects of the heart or congenital defects. And even as it is, only about half of the grants that are grant applications that are deemed highly meritorious are actually funded.
I think a lot about Jim Fixx, and in a lot of ways he was kind of responsible for the running and fitness craze that we have today. He wrote a New York Times bestseller, and you looked at him and he was a specimen. You know, he ran every day, he was fit, he had given up all of his unhealthy lifestyle habits. But sure enough, one day he was out for his run and he actually dropped down and had a massive heart attack and died. And on autopsy he was found to have very severe 3-vessel coronary disease.
I was leading a pretty normal life, and in April of 2010 I turned 52, and just a couple weeks after that I ran the 99th annual Bay to Breakers foot race in San Francisco, which is a 12-kilometer event. Just moments after I crossed the finish line, I went into sudden cardiac arrest and collapsed. After performing tests and trying to figure out what was wrong with me, they determined that I had 90, 90, and 99% blockage in 3 of my main arteries, and that I had very severe coronary artery disease. But it just goes to show you that you could be thinking you're the most healthy, normal, active person and have this underlying issue that doesn't have symptoms.
And so we want to understand what makes these people so different. After controlling for all risk factors, what is the genetics trying to tell us, and how can that help us develop new therapies to combat heart disease?
One of my very good friends died completely unexpectedly last year from stroke, and we still don't understand stroke very well. The AHA has unique vision in realizing that fundamental research on curiosity-driven questions is key to fueling biomedical breakthroughs. And in fact, every biomedical breakthrough of the 20th century was based on curiosity-driven research, and that's not going to change.
It's really kind of a tragic irony, to be honest, that science is getting better and easier to do than ever before, particularly in cardiovascular biology, because of the genome projects, because of our ability to generate large bodies of data. And at the same time that science is the most exciting it's ever been, the federal government is slashing funding.
I would like to say that we are working as hard as we can. We are very motivated to solve this problem that affects so many people in this country and around the world. It's something that I remind my staff here on a weekly basis that you know, we're doing this for a higher purpose.
The fact that I could immediately latch onto an organization that was as mad as I was and it was as passionate as I was, and could also feed me with a lot of information and a lot of knowledge and a lot of support is amazing.
Probably a lot of the things that were done to me, starting with CPR, was a result of Heart Association funding and Heart Association research. So I could easily say without the existence of the American Heart Association, I might not be alive today.
What I want to say to the supporters is thank you for your vision, for your support, for helping us through these times and allowing to continue our basic fundamental studies.
I'd like to thank the donors of the Heart Association for their generous and altruistic contributions. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to do the great work that we're doing.
Thank you for saving my son's life. Thank you for everything that you do to make him be able to run and jump and play. I know he has a very special heart, and you all work every day to just continue to keep that special heart beating. What we need is to keep that focus and that research and that awareness out there. Just please keep doing what you're doing.